That's WizKid and Joro. That's our track of the week. Welcome back to BBC Radio London. You're listening to The Scene with me, Jasmine Dotiwala. I'm here with you until 10 p.m. this evening. And as I mentioned, WizKid and our track of the week is Joro. Oh my goodness, have you gotten down with the Afrobeat scene right now? That is kicking off all over the world globally. Our tracks, our charts, our music festivals, everything has an African flavour, and WizKid is one of the kings of the scene, so make sure you check him out. Right, our first guest on the scene tonight is in front of me. He's a British, European and world champion heavyweight Muay Thai fighter. He's also the founder of Dyna Movement, an organisation set up to promote martial arts, fitness, health and personal development, and offers young people a unique opportunity to join a winning team instead of joining knife-wielding gangs. And to tell us more, welcome to the scene, a real-life hero from our capital, it's Daniel Sam.
Hi Jasmine, thanks for having me on the show.
Good evening. Now, for people who can't see, because we're not live streaming on air, but you can watch this later on Facebook, Daniel Sam is a brick house of a man. He is tall, he is buff, the muscles are popping, the biceps, the triceps, the chest, the t-shirt can barely contain his pec muscles, because this is one fit man putting his fitness to use. As I said, he's a real life hero on London streets. We're going to be talking to him more. I would love to hear from you if you have any questions for Daniel Sam. Don't forget, our telephone number is 0800 731 2000. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love it if you wanted to speak to Daniel live on air too. Also, you can text us 81333, starting your text with the word London, or my favourite way of getting in touch is on Twitter at BBC Radio London or at Jasmine Dotiwala. So, Daniel Sam is sitting opposite me. As I said, he's doing great things for young people across the capital, and we're going to hear more about them in a moment. But first of all, Daniel, introduce yourself and tell us which of London's cultural tribes you belong to.
London born and bred tribe, African descent tribe, via Barbados on my mother's tribe and St. Vincent on my father's tribe, although we're all one tribe. Muay Thai kickboxing and boxing tribe. Muay Thai against knife crime and youth violence tribe. Dyna Movement, martial arts, personal development, health and fitness tribe. Fight for Peace Youth Academy tribe. Helping young people to recognise and realise and fulfil their potential tribe. Vegan life tribe. Planting not plantain tribe. Pineapple is the best fruit tribe. Had to drop that one in.
Keep going, you've got 20 seconds to go.
6 a.m. in the morning tribe, 6 days a week tribe.
Oh, that's not me.
Win the morning tribe and set yourself up for the rest of your day. That's one of the biggest tribes we go for. How long have we got to go?
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
You're the Dyna Movement tribe. You're the superhero tribe. Listen, I've been watching you today on YouTube, all the videos of you fighting as a part of your career. But actually, how much time does it take for you to do the mainstream fight stuff compared to what you're doing with our young people in London? So tell us a little bit first, I guess, about what you do at Dyna Movement. What is Dyna Movement?
Okay, thanks. Dyna Movement is an organisation I've set up to help promote martial arts, health, fitness and personal development, which kind of coincides with today being Mental Health and Wellbeing Day. So it's to promote active, healthy living and the benefits of martial arts that can be obtained through training, regular exercise, regular training. It's good for the mind, it's good for the body, and it's also, as I said, it can teach an effective martial art, which can, if need be used to defend yourself as well. So that's what I promote. I've got a big passion for it. I've got lots of experience working with young people as well, and I feel it's something that young people do need to benefit from, especially living in London. With the state of knife crime and youth violence in London it's very, very bad.
It's out of control, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard the latest one on the news just in the break of a stabbing in Stratford, 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, on average, one a day.
Yeah, so that's something that I'm very, very passionate about, trying to help young people recognise their potential, because young people have got the talent and the skill or the potential to to do so much. So once they can recognize that, tap into that, and with the hard work and the dedication, they can be all they want to be, rather than taking the negative option and doing other stuff.
Where's Dyna Movement based? What part of London?
Well, Dyna Movement is based all over. So what I'm looking to do with Dyna Movement, previously I'm still working with Fight for Peace Academy. We're based in North Woolwich. But what I want to do with Dyna Movement is to reach out to more young people in schools, colleges, community centres around London, so I can try and access more young people and try and get more of an impact. So I've done some sessions at Barnet and Southgate College, I'm at Imperial College, King's College, and I've done some other schools in East London as well. So I'm trying to branch out as much as I can to impact and help as many people as possible.
What part of London are you born and bred from?
I was born in Forest Gate at the old Newham General Hospital, and then was raised in Ilford, lived a bit in Hackney, a short while in Walthamstow. I've worked a lot in Stratford, so I know East London, really well. So just hearing that the stabbing on the McDonald's today, that hit me again, because I've done so much work in Stratford as well. I know the area well, so that's my stomping ground, and I just want to see the young people better themselves and try and maximise what they can do.
Share a little bit of your journey. When you were coming up, how did you first fall in love with martial arts?
How did I first fall in love with martial arts? I used to watch Nigel Benn, who's a family relative of myself, and also Mike Tyson, and I always wanted to get into boxing. I used to see these guys fighting and think, okay, that's something I wanted to do. I went with a family trip to Barbados. My uncle had a pair of boxing gloves over there, and I decided, okay, I'm going to put these gloves on and try and box with him. I was, quite big for my age, and I thought, okay, my uncle's, he's the generation above. He's not going to be able to hang with me, and I couldn't touch him. So then I realised, okay, I want to learn this. So I came back to London, went to a gym in Tottenham, which I'm still training at now, Muay Thai Masters Academy, and decided, okay, I'm going to give this a try. I saw Thai boxing, I saw punches, kicks, knees and elbows, and I thought, okay, my legs are quite long, I could give this a try. This is the time now I used to do lots of gym weight training and stuff, so I was quite big and strong, and I thought, okay, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to hold my own. The coach, Arjan Vinny, put me in with a 17-year-old kid, 3 years younger than myself, who wasn't in the best of shape, just, to be nice. And I thought to myself, okay, this is going to be easy pickings. Within 10 seconons, my nose was split. I was getting hit from sides I didn't see coming, and I realized, okay, it's not about size, it's not about, anything exterior. This is about learning a craft and dedicating yourself to a craft. And then from then, I got on it every day, training every day, changed my life, and which is why I always try and promote the change for other people, because I've seen such a positive change for myself in what I used to be doing compared to now, being a lot more disciplined, a lot more dedicated, kept training every day, had my first fight within a year, which I won, and then that propelled me on, and I've just continued fighting, and it's become a way of life for me now. It's no longer, a pastime or a hobby, it's just become a way of life. And now I'm training students up to do the same thing and try and, push themselves on as much as they can and achieve greatness.
So you trained that skill and became eventually British, European and world champion.
Yes.
At what point did you then decide to create an organisation that would then mentor downwards to young people in London?
Well, I've been working at Fight for Peace since 2007, and I've seen so much such positive impact for the young people there, and I've also been doing lots of personal training as well. So I've seen the positive benefits you can get from regular exercise as well as the martial arts. So I decided in 2017 to set up the organisation because I felt that I could do more. I was doing a lot. We've had 10,000 young people come through the doors at Fight for Peace over the last 12 years, but I've always felt that I could do more, reaching out to more in different areas. So I've created the organisation and the fitness programs in 2017, and I've been writing out to schools and colleges and stuff to try and push it out and just help as many.
Do you remember, was there a particular moment that you thought, I really need to do this? Like, was there an instigator? You're not a fighter and you go, right, suddenly I'll do something. Was there something that happened in London that made you set up this organisation to help young people?
Well, I've always wanted to help young people from back in 2004, when I was working in one of my many jobs that I've been doing throughout, trying to find myself. I was working for Hackney Council, and I witnessed a stabbing on the steps of Hackney Town Hall. There's a young teenager by the name of Robert Levi, who was stabbed to death on the steps of Hackney Town Hall, and that hit me really hard. It was a group fighting, and he got stabbed, and the streets around it was just such a painful experience for everybody who witnessed that. And from then I realised that what I'm doing isn't, one, it's not satisfying me, but two, it's not helping. I knew that I could help young people. And I had the opportunity at Fight for Peace, and I've progressed working there, and I've realized, okay, I can actually do this through my fighting and trying to inspire people. And I get messages on Facebook and Instagram about being a good role model and inspiration for lots of people across the world. So I've realized, okay, this is something that I can try and channel through what I've the hard work and the dedication I've put into the Thai boxing, and trying to apply that to other areas and help other young people see the same and do the same thing.
What feedback have you had from the young people that you do train ultimately? Because what is it about the martial art that makes them want to not go down a negative road and actually join your Dyna movement? Well,
the martial arts, it teaches people so much about themselves, how to overcome challenges. You learn, it's a lot of self-awareness. You learn how you are when you're tired, when you're under pressure, things you like, things you don't like. So it gives you that sense of self, builds your self-confidence, your self-esteem and stuff like that, which you can then translate into your everyday life. So for me, it's really satisfying when I see young people improving their techniques, but also when I see young people, I've been there for 12 years. So when I see young people, for example, a couple of weeks ago, I had a young member come back. He emigrated from Portugal in about 2010 as a young guy, trained with me for a couple of years, had a few fights, but obviously it wasn't his passion, but he enjoyed doing it. He came back to the gym maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He just received his master's degree in law. And, for me, seeing the achievement he's been able to make, growing up and, becoming a man, going out and doing his thing. And when I get messages from young people from all over saying, you had such a big impact in my life, or positive impact, and I've been able to take some of the mindset and skill set that you've been able to instill in me and push that into my everyday life with my family, with my colleges and the studies. For me, that's the feedback I want to hear, and that tells me that we're doing a good job at the academy, and that I can do more, and something's working.
If you've just joined us, you're listening to The Scene with me, Jasmine Dotiwala. I'm joined tonight. My first guest is Daniel Sam. He is the founder of Dyna Movement, and he's also helping, like a real life superhero in the capital, young people off our streets via the martial art Muay Thai. I can't actually say Muay Thai properly. I say Muay Thai. Do you know, I do dance classes at the gym, and there are always Muay Thai classes after me, and I watch them, and it's always big geezers, and they all look very rough and ready, and the guys are always saying, oh, you should join in, you'd love it if you love dance and ballet and stuff, and I'm like, nah.
No, you should do.
Oh, there's going to be a caller on the line in a minute. How exciting. It's like when you're on Love Island, you go, I've got a text, you go, I've got a call. But anyway, listen, you're talking about martial arts being a discipline and increasing self-confidence and awareness. And similarly to when I was growing up, I was a dance student, and I think it's the same thing. It's like ballet and dance, it all helped me with discipline and confidence and respect and managing emotions and just having some clarity and focus. Yes. And I think that's what it's about, because when I think of a martial art, I don't think it's getting young people off the streets because they are fighters and they're self-defending themselves. I'm thinking to myself, actually, it's because they have something else to focus on. Definitely. They have a mentor in you, they have a teacher that believes in them, and they're learning a skill.
Yes, you said it better than I have. Exactly that. It allows them to practice their skills on focus. As exactly what you said. It builds up their self-respect. They don't. Hopefully, when they do the training, they realize, through the self-awareness, that they don't need to carry a weapon, because they realize through the training that they're doing, they are a weapon, mentally and as well as physically. So they don't, they have that confidence. They don't need to try and prove themselves on the street, because they are that walking weapon if need be. But otherwise, they can use that skill and that power and that strength for something positive.
Well, you're obviously inspiring our listeners, because we have Ace on the line from Camden. Ace, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, we can hear you too. How exciting. I love it when we get a call. So, Ace, I'm sat here with Daniel Sam. Is he inspiring you?
He is. Now, I've done martial arts now for since I was about 4 years old. I'm kind of on the wrong side of 40 now.
Yes,
but because of where I live, obviously there's lots of knife crime, as again we heard on the news earlier. I'd like to know how to get involved with the big man there, as you called him. Sorry about that. Yeah. I bet you're blushing now, aren't you?
Listen, you can't see him, Ace, but you're going to watch. If you watch back on Jasmine Dotiwala Behind the Scene on Facebook, you'll see he is a brick house. Look at his fights on YouTube. But Daniel, go ahead. Answer Ace. How can he get involved?
First of all, Ace, thank you very much for the call. And I'm welcoming for anyone to try and, to help out. And I'm glad you've reached out. You can get in contact with me via email on daniel@dynamovement.co.uk. And also check out the website, www.dynamovement.co.uk. I'll be dealing with email and responding to you directly. And as I said, I'm welcoming for everybody to try and get on board, because, you know, it's not just me being a superhero. Everybody, you know, each one teach one is the philosophy. So we can all inspire others and help others. So yeah, I'm all down for it. Definitely would love to hook up with you and see what we can do.
I mean, this is exactly what that my teacher taught, my Sifu taught me. You know, I mean, I was a bit of a scrapper when I was younger, and I got myself into some trouble when I was a bit of a young man. Yeah, trust, we've all been there. But obviously, as you get older, you start to learn that, you know, fighting is not the answer, and carrying knives and guns is not the answer.
Exactly.
It's using what's in your mind. In your mindset, if you change the mindset, you change the people. Yeah,
definitely. It's not that you lose the fight; you still have the fight inside you, but you use that fight for something more positive. So, you know, you fight against, you know, your college studies, or you fight against tiredness, or you fight against, you know, depression, or you fight against stress, all those kind of things. But you use the skill of having that power inside you to still be able to do that.
Oh, thank you so much for your call,
Thank
Ace.
you, Ace.
If you do get involved, do stay in touch with us. Thank you so much. If you do get involved, stay in touch and let us know how it's going.
I will do.
Cheers.
Well done, mate. Thanks for the call. So, Daniel, I want to ask you, why do you think it is young people all across the UK are so angry at the moment? What are you hearing from the young people that you're training?
Well, there isn't one particular thing. There's lots of, you know, there's many different reasons as to what's causing the issues at the moment, through lack of opportunities, through lack of being heard. You know, there's issues with society, parenting, education, and stuff like that. It does start with the education, and also, you know, with in the home. So, you know, the parenting and the education is very, very important factor. Once, you know, you have an education and you have knowledge of self, then, you know, you see the world differently, you see yourself differently. If you can get out and experience different things, you know, but through the lack of opportunities and boredom and stuff like that, there's so many different things that are causing what it is. And also, likewise, there's going to be an holistic approach needed to rectify the problem. You know, you can't just say, okay, we need more policing, or we just need better education or stuff like that. It needs to be a complete approach to try and solve the problem. Because it is a big problem.
Sounds like you are doing exactly what all of us Londoners should be doing. We all talk about it and we moan about it and everything that's frustrating us, and we blame people and we point fingers. But you're actually, as I said, you are a real life hero. You're changing minds, you're changing physiques and bodies. You know, you're really doing well. And because it is World Mental Health Day today, and we've mentioned it already, you've mentioned it a couple of times today, what are your experiences with young people and their mental health? And what are any top tips, maybe a couple of top tips that you can give young people about dealing with mental health?
Some of the things, you know, that are troubling for young people that can be addressed through regular exercises is so good. You know, clean, healthy eating is another thing as well. Again, you know, drinking lots of water, getting good rest, communicating, which we don't do as much anymore. You know, just having lots of communications with different people, older people, younger people, and also self-communication. You know, having positive talk with yourself rather than just, you know, listening to what's on Instagram or trying to copy what you're seeing on the TV and stuff like that. But focusing inwards, you know, is, for me, the self is so important, and I think that's a lot of what we've lost. You know, we've lost that self-respect, the self-awareness, confidence, self-esteem. So it's just, you know, focusing inwards a lot more than focusing on what's coming in from Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else, and just having that kind of, you know, that awareness of who you are, you know, what makes you tick, what things you like, things you don't like. And once you get an awareness and, you know, a state of yourself, then you can address the world differently. You see the world differently.
Remind us one more time where we can find you on social media.
You can do Dyna Movement on YouTube at Dyna Movement, Team Daniel Sam, dynamovement.co.uk. Email me, daniel@dynamovement.co.uk. I'm open for all help, funding, volunteers, helpers, the lot. You know, I want to try and change. There's lots of other people doing it out there. I want to give a big shout out to Mark Prince as well, who's also championing.
Legend.
He is, absolutely. He's a guy that I've trained with and I've looked up to for many years, him and his brothers. You know, so there's lots of people out there that are also doing great work out there, and just to try and keep it going and, you know, try and get as many people on board to do the same thing. Because, as I said, you know, each one teach one. It takes a community or a village to raise a child, and we need lots more of those. We need a community again, and we're all working together to make a change.
It certainly does take a community. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Dyna Movement, get involved, people. Get those young minds up up, fighting fit, doing well, and taking a positive path. We'll be meeting our second guest after this. This is a song called Take Me Back to London. It's by Ed Sheeran and Stormzy. And Stormzy today was revealed to be on the front cover of one of the globe's biggest magazines, Time magazine. How cool is that? Take Me Back to London.